Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I'd pull out all the stops.
Okay.
But
I appreciate that.
you're the coach. You're the analyst, Kyle. So I have a
Yep.
question for you. You're the new guys. You go through game 2 like that. What kind of composition are you prioritizing?
I don't think you have to pull out all the stops. This map is very calculated, so all you need is a calculated draft. Like, you can play a Greymane Abathur comp, and that's not something that's super crazy. Or like even the new Chicken Chips, they can play the exact same comp that they played last game and execute it pretty much the same way. Switch out the Sonya with a Dahaka, boom, done. Like, and just play that sort of game again. And if you do have something hidden, you could save it. You don't have to pull out like all of the stops with your drafts. So
That's fair.
look at that ban. There's the Anubarak. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
I knew it had to be a Nubrak or Chromie.
Yep.
If you're second pick and you've chosen to go to this map, the safer choice would be a Nubrak. There's a lot more chance that a Nubrak would show up here before Chromie does. Like I said, Chromie isn't really known to show up on this map too often. But Ball and Beast definitely inspired part of the conversation, I would say. First pick is on the board for Chicken Chips. Who do they go for?
I think
they
it's
go for
Greymane
Greymane
again. I'm pretty sure they just go Mouth. Like, they love Malfurion, and it's a super heavy comfort pick. Yeah, so there's Mouth. But okay, what I'm really stoked on is the fact that Anubarak is off the board. I want to see what Chicken Chips does. Like, I want to see how they play, how good they are without the Anubarak. Is that their crutch? Like, we'll have to find out. But I'm stoked to see it. Picks for the new guys. Do we see them pick up the Dahaka early? Is it what is it? Is it Greymane +1?
Well, Greymane would be a sound denial from Juki. Juki was doing a good amount of work on that hero towards the late game, I'd argue.
Oh,
Genji!
the weeb! Yes!
Oh, Genju.
Okay, Genji is insanely good on this map, but into Malfurion can be difficult because of the silence value with Dragon Blade, but he can juke it. I believe in him.
Now, Kala, when I was young, I lived a life of recklessness.
The Zagara?
Yeah, the Zagara is kind of a surprise. Okay.
It is a huge surprise.
Okay.
Are you doing the live the life of recklessness? Are you Genji?
You finally got that?
Oh no, I'm with you. I was with you the whole time. I thought it was troll as heck. It's super good. Oh, Zeratul Falstad. Okay, Zeratul is one of Talaz's best heroes. And Juki plays it's probably going to be a Ball and Beast actually, a mighty fine Falstad. And let me tell you, the Zeratul Falstad on Cursed Hollow, that's the tempo special, baby.
So I might have forgotten to switch over to the draft.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll give him the draft.
I switch.
Genji Zagara. What? That's crazy. What are they? How are they gonna do with the ETC ban? I have no idea what's happening right now. But the new guys do. They ban the ETC just because maybe they don't even like. It's not even the threat of the stage dive global. Like, yeah, Void Prison plus stage dive is insane. But is that actually the ban?
If this is the ban, I feel like Grizz it is the ban. I feel like Grizz should feel very accomplished in his play. Because they're so worried about Grizz's ability to isolate a target and engage that they ban out Anubarak. And then they're like, what other hero can do anything like that? ETC's Power Slide. So I doubt we did. I can't imagine we saw ETC game 1. I don't know. We didn't see game 1. But to be that worried about the engage, I don't know, man. It says a lot.
Okay, so Uther banned off. They just, they've got this AoE silence. They've got the root. They don't want to deal with it. So I think that's a good call to ban off the Uther. Also, Genji with Divine Shield is actually insanity. So Zagara, how are they? That meme with that lady and she's like looking at all the math problems. It's like a 4 quadrant picture. I've got like that going on in my head right now. I'm not sure how they make Zagara work with this. Do they just like play her as like a complete solo lane soak plus Nidus network later? Like Genji kind of satisfies, like we were talking about earlier, that like pseudo global, but I don't know. This is wild.
You know, so Genji, Zagara in a 1-2, and then Zeratul Falstad show up at a 2-3, and that just shuts down the Zagara pick, in my opinion. You try to pressure it all, Zeratul shows up, you're just like, oh.
And that's it, right? Like Zagara's gonna have such a hard time into this Zeratul plus Falstad. Like you fly on that anytime, and that's Zagara.
So I feel like whoever's playing Zagara is like, all right, guys, you kind of left me out here. I don't really.
Yeah.
Zagara's gonna have a tough time. I feel. I'm not sure I get or understand prioritizing that hero that early. I think Zagara in this situation is one of those heroes where you're like, let me look both ways before I cross the street and pick Zagara because I can take this early on and find myself outdrafted pretty hard.
Okay, what you just said there, taking it early on and getting outdrafted hard, I think that's actually the story of this. Because there's no way they needed to take Zagara, right? There's just no chance. Why not Genji Diablo or Genji Rehgar and then just flex the Zagara? Because you would have seen the Zeratul come out in the 2-3 and then it's like, ooh, or Zeratul Falstad come out in the 2-3 and it's like no chance I go Zagara. But yeah, you just open yourself up to being countered really hard. Muradin Tychus picked up 4 chicken chips. This is like the gnarliest team fight composition plus a global. So really good comp from chicken chips, and it's quite standard, right? Like this is pretty easy to pull off. You know, the only variable here really is the Zeratul. But like I said, Zeratul is one of Talaz's best heroes. So do they look to follow up damage with the APOC, the new guys? So they've got the Diablo, but is there really anything to follow up with it? Not really. Wait a second, is it Devouring Maw?
I mean, I feel like you need to go Nidus Network just to save your bait.
Yeah, me too.
But the Tychus Muradin selection shuts down the Diablo, in my opinion.
Yes, because of his high health pool.
You almost need another frontliner to give Diablo time to breathe. But then you don't have enough really follow-up damage for an engagement. You go for higher damage. You know, chicken chips just wait for Diablo to go in. The bigger they are, his face off. You throw a Void Prison on Rehgar.
Oof, okay.
And then Gul'dan?
They didn't want to play another warrior because it was into Tychus, so I guess I understand the fact that their last pickup isn't a warrior, and I did anticipate it being a mage. But Gul'dan, it just seemed, I don't know. Are they looking to just like split up with a Horrify and then just try to kill someone with Genji? But to me, it looks like nobody's able to follow Genji's win condition of diving backline and getting kills. Like there's nothing there to follow up. So this draft's kind of all over the map for the new guys. But they have a lot of stall when it comes to the tributes. But they can't even gain value from the stall Unless they're just looking to stall forever with Genji plus Gul'dan and then gain value with Nidus Network. But early game, that win condition can't be satisfied, right? Because there's no global. So what's going on here? What do you think? Like, do you think that Chicken Chips just takes this game way too hard early for the new guys to satisfy their level 10s?
I'm no expert at this game, Kala, but I fail to grasp the synergy and merit of this composition for the new guys. Yep. I think if you're going to take a mage in that situation, Li Ming over Gul'dan and take Force Armor.
I was thinking Li Ming too.
But we'll find out. This is game 3. Winner goes on to the finals. Over on the left side, we got Chicken Chips. Grizz is on Muradin. Talaz is playing Zeratul. Ballin' Beast is on Falstad. Ayo is on Malfurion. And Juki is on Tychus.
And on the right is the new guys. They are in red. We've got Stu Manchu playing Diablo, Frumgore on Rehgar, Ataro playing Gul'dan, Santa Claus on the Weeb Genji, and Grim playing Zagara.
I feel like Zagara's going to have a tough time. I feel like Diablo's going to have a tough time. Their engagement and siege pressure will be absolutely critical to the success of the new guys. But they've made it this far. They're a top 8 team who are 1 game away from making it to the finals of Heroes Hype Tempo Storm Series. There's a team that can pull this composition off. Prove me wrong.
It's definitely the new guys. Yeah, totally. One critique already. I do think that the Genji level 1 talent is the worst talent for him in the game, and borderline like almost unusable. So that is I want to see how I have to see how they're going to play this out, because yeah, I'm not sure about that talent choice. But everything else seems pretty standard. Again, we are seeing the perfect storm for Muradin and scouting drone for Malfurion, so looking to defend themselves against the early game.
Well, scouting drone does spot out the rotation. Stu Manchu's not gonna be dissuaded by that, and the tower damage is enough, along with the damage from Greymane. And the wheels seemingly start to fall off early for the new.
The Dwarf Toss also goes in onto Rhaegar, but no follow-up damage, no Vorpal there from Zeratul. So we do see that first kill going over, and that was like, you were talking about Tychus just shredding through Diablo, and he died. It was 4 tower shots plus only solo Tychus damage. Like, that was insane. So much damage coming up from Tychus onto Diablo.
It does not bode well for the Lord of Terror, certain. Grim gets joined by Santa Claus. The deflect turns a good amount of damage to Juke. Not enough for kill pressure. Hale has enough mana to sustain Tychus through this little progression. The gamble does not pay off for Santa Claus. He uses E to jump in, and with that level 1 talent, that's just not ideal.
That's very true. Rotations for the new guys. You can just tell by the way that they're moving. You know, that they're feeling a little bit anxious during this early game. So we do see Genji and Diablo looking to grab their siege camp at the 2-minute mark, which is really, really good because the tributes are going to be coming up in a few moments here. Tal is also looking to respond, grab the siege camp at the top left side of the map. So it looks like both of these teams are, you know, calculating the siege camps for the first tribute. So that's really good. Meanwhile, Frumgore just pushing out that mid lane.
These teams definitely understand the game. Both teams go get the siege camp. The RNGesus of it all has the tribute show up in the bottom portion. Another roll of snake eyes of sorts for the new guys. If this becomes a prolonged progression, that siege camp at the top portion of the map will get a generous amount of value. Ball of Beast can fly up as well if things get too dicey. Tribute shows up. Frumgore's going to start the channel. Grizz and Hayu are here for the rotation now. They step in. Flank from Zeratul interrupted. Stun goes in on Stu Manchu. Starts to back away. A little bit of poke damage from Ataru. Healing totem goes down. Sustain is there.
It was actually a really early fly from Falstad. You know, considering how you exactly said it, that was a very really advantageous spawn point for Chicken Chips, because obviously it's on the bottom side of the map and they have the top pushing out. I'm pretty sure you just got to send Falstad, either, you know, keep him mid or send him top to gain that advantage. You know, first tribute, really not a big deal, especially considering how Chicken Chips are looking for that Void Prison play at level 10.
Yeah, I mean, as far as min-maxing goes, they definitely could have sent Falstad up just to further push the siege camp in, get some added soak. First tribute does go over to new guys though, and that's stuff. Things like that are what they're gonna need to try to get an advantage here. Yeah, the first tribute's not too important, but when you have a composition like this, I feel every little bit helps. So you try to get the heroics. Ataru potentially a target, manages to avoid the Q, not long enough. The Zeratul is gonna be enough, but the return damage, Shadow Charge, welcome NBA Jam. First takedown for the new guys.
Yeah, so it is the 1-for-1 there. Gul'dan and Zeratul no longer available for these teams. But top lane pressure does go to Chicken Chips because of the tower ammunition, and of course it spawns in a good spot for Chicken Chips. So, you know, 2 good spawns in a row, and actually Genji managing to dive onto the backline with Diablo, and they secure a kill onto Falstad. Stepped up a little bit too far there without the support of his team. So, Chicken Chips.
The cheeky spray too.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a solid amount of burst from Santa Claus. He was able to stay in close, maximize the damage out of those shuriken tosses.
Yep.
And Diablo was there. Nicely done. I'm impressed.
Yeah. That was really, really good. And of course, the Shuriken Mastery nowhere near completed because level 7's just coming in. But once that does get completed, you're going to see some more damage coming in for them. The Shuriken, I mean. Yeah.
Shadow Charge pushes Grizz back towards the towers. A little bit of added damage there. Grizz throws a Storm Bolt. He's able to take that easy stroll away. Now, he did take Perfect Storm at level 1. We were talking about this earlier. I'm curious to see what kind of added burst that brings to the table for Chicken Chips. We'll see.
And the new guys positioning Genji just really aggressively. Like, look at that. He just dashes onto Ball and Beast and gets a couple auto attacks plus the Q. And that's less than half health now. Falstad. So now, the new guys looking to push in this top wall, maybe get a little bit of damage onto the towers. And actually the dive goes in. The deflect wasn't enough to follow up Stormbolt onto Genji. Just secures a kill. That was ambition if I've ever seen it.
That was a rather amphibious leap of sorts for Genji. I mean, there was just too much health on Ball and Beast to E in there and try to burst down, you know, Falstad in time to get the cooldown, reset the jump out. Daring and bold just did not pay off for him that time.
Yeah, not the end of the world though. You know, 2 tributes are available for the new guys, and level 10's coming in sooner. Damage goes out on the fantastic cleanse onto Zeratul. So no follow-up. Bonnel Beast does fly onto the backside of the fight and manages to get a kill onto Gul'dan, but it's a trade 1-for-1.
We saw Zagar flanking, almost gets the takedown on Zeratul. He's able to teleport and stealth up. Shadow Charge goes in. It's going to be enough. Gets the alley-up scoop on Tychus. Grizz Dwarf is out of there. And the tribute does go over to the new guys. With a heroic advantage, they get the curse. They're making this comp work thus far, Kala. I am surprised.
And it is the Nidus network, so it's not going to be the Maw follow-up. The Maw plus the APOC, but we do see APOC. So you're absolutely right. So we do see the Nidus. They're just looking at now gaining experience advantages and trying to push out this, you know, the waves as much as they can. Force Chicken Ships to respond because honestly, they don't have a lot of wave clear.
Santa Claus hanging out in the front, nicely timed deflect, gives him some added sustain and steps back into the range of the totem. He'll be fine. Grizz is going to try to push Grim back. Ball and Beast shows up. This is what we were talking about. Zagar steps too far forward. The rotation is going to be there by either Falstad or Zeratul. Zagar gets taken down.
It's a really good gust to try to deter the fight. Then actually Santa Claus goes in, he pops the Dragon Blade, and there's the reflect, but I don't think it's a... He actually does manage to get the kill, and the Ancestral lands as well as the reset there, and there it is on the E. Another reset goes out onto Heyo, flip into the APOC, and that's a dead Malfurion. Is this the Genji God?
Santa Claus, living a life of recklessness, cleans up the members of Chicken Chips, and Talus almost got caught too. He's real lucky that no one like Diablo didn't decide to hit W and there was no shuriken toss, because he just skated right on by. He's like, excuse me guys, I left my stove on. I should go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, Lauren, we have 13 to 11 plus a Nidus Global available for the new guys. This doesn't get better. Like, you were down so many structures. You're able to trade this top boss now. That's going to take top fort. It's going to push into top wall for the Chicken Chips. Like, so much of this map got opened up off of that first curse because the new guys had so much wave pressure with Gul'dan clearing waves. So, like, as soon as that curse hit, they already had wave pressure. Like, and they were able to push out everything. Like, they got almost everything you could have asked for on the map off the first curse, which is actually insane.
A crazy amount of value. I mean, from Gore and Santa Claus, that ancestral healing hit when Genji had -5 health. Like, his health bar was empty.
No, he was already dead. Yeah.
Right. He was waiting to respawn, and his screen just went from blue, and then he was back. And he was like, all right, cool, I guess I'll just kill everybody then. He's back at it again. He's out there applying pressure to Talos now. Like, this is crazy. Santa Claus, man.
So, top boss pushing. I was talking about it taking this front wall. And honestly, at this point, the new guys can walk up and pressure this. You know, you see Falstad on the map. You see Zeratul hovering mid as well. Like, just push this as hard as you can. You're not going to get much more off of it. You did just get the Odin as well. So, yeah, really good. Now, at this point, the new guys just need to back off. Yep, absolutely. So they got the wall. Like, can we look at the value across the map off that curse plus pick? Like, this is actually insane. And this is 9.5 minutes into the game. We have 2 exposed keeps.
This is a crippling amount of macro pressure that the new guys have put on the faces of Chicken Chips, all off of the back of that single curse. 13 will be here, presumably, for the members of Chicken Chips, so they can try to make their stand here, but they cannot continue to hang back on their laurels sooner or later. They are going to forego this. They don't even want to chance it. I like the idea the more I'm thinking about it. It's like, you know, just give them the first tribute. They got 2 more before it's another curse, but it's getting crazy, man.
I just made the mistake of reading chat, and FC Ignition just said, looks like Santa Claus is coming to town tonight for him. And I just lost it. Like, that's actually so good. Preach, brother, preach. So, the tribute goes over to the new guys, which was actually Chicken Chips' fight there, but they just, you know, they didn't have the wave pressure, they didn't have any vision. Actually, the Shadow Charge goes out, and the fantastic Void Presence that equalizes fight.
Twilight Dream goes in, Ancestral Healing is gonna land. Genji, low on health, has to deflect to get himself out of there. Drop the Dragon Blade, he's looking to do some work. Grizz drops the Avatar as well, he's starting to back away. 15 to 13, this is an even tier fight. With these heroics blown, this could be the time for Chicken Chips to try to make something happen. They step out there, go for the Storm Bolt, a nicely timed cleanse, encourages the disengage. No heroes taken down on either side. That could have been a huge momentum swing.
Honestly, this fight could go either way because pretty much no heroics are available for either team. Actually, no effective heroics are available for the new guys. So just Odin available for Chicken Chips. I would say that the new guys just give this up. Like exactly. They do not need this whatsoever. Wait for their 16. That's the next team fight for them. They're gonna get the tribute off of that. So really good call for the new guys to back up. Let's just wait for those heroics to recharge.
Yeah, I mean, they have so much control over the map. They can easily give up a tribute and just get level 16 and then really try to throw their weight around later on. We see that the members of Chicken Chips have identified they'll be looking down the barrel of a tier disadvantage sooner rather than later. So get what value that you can down here. Try to get one of these towers, get yourself some experience before you back out.
Exactly. So really good call for Chicken Chips to try to push out bottom lane. They didn't manage to get any of the structures there, but they are looking at that experience, and that is the right call for them to do now. They just need to be 3-soaking exactly like what they're trying to do, but all these waves are just pushed in to the new guys, and they're just not able to push up and get any soak. So Zeratul hovering around this bottom lane, not showing himself, just picking up that free soak. Very Galarang-esque of him.
I mean, they need to try to get level 16 before the third tribute comes into play. If this next tribute shows up in the next 5 seconds, I think they should just give that bad boy up. Kyla, we've seen what happens when teams try to go in with a tier disadvantage, and they're not the ones playing for the finals right now.
It's true.
Let's put it like that.
I mean, get that 16, because you will get the 16 to like 17 and a half, right? For that, for the next tribute off of this. And you have boss available too. So at that point, Chicken Chips has like the boss plus curse play available in their repertoire. Like they're able to try to make that happen, but that's pretty much like their only way back into this game is a team fight at 16. So a little bit of a skirmish going on between Genji and Falstad, but abilities missed and that kind of fizzled out of existence.
Tribute does get picked up without any fanfare or consequence for the new guys. Next tribute will be a Cursed Santa Claus. Pokes the proverbial bear while level 16 is not yet picked up for Chicken Chips. Hammering goes across, shows that no one's going for the boss just yet. I think that would have been a interesting choice, so I'm glad to see that the new guys decided not to do all that. Grizz missed the Storm Bolt. Santa Claus gets a lot of damage in on Grizz with the Shuriken. The Mighty Gust actually gets negated by the Twilight Dream, or the Void Prison. Twilight Dream does go in. Diablo finally drops. Horrify out of the Void Prison. Grizz is actually going to sustain for the moment. Finally goes down. And another game-changing Ancestral Healing is going to enable Santa Claus to go off. Talos, the potential target. He gets back into stealth mode. He backs away. 1 for 1, but Diablo's already back to business. That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it definitely could have been. And every heroic used, including Odin, for Chicken Chips, that actually could have gotten so worse if Genji was able to get a little bit of a reset there. But okay, that fight was intense. Like, Grizz stayed alive on the Murden for so long. I couldn't believe it. And so did Diablo. Like, that 100 souls goes a long way, I suppose. Especially with Tychus just, like, eating away at his health bar. I expected Stu Manchu to drop a lot faster than that. So, Frumgore playing out of his mind this series.
Yeah, I mean, Genji learned their lesson. You do not have to fight alone, because these Ancestral Healings are the only thing keeping him in these fight past the initial stages. But Stu Manchu does not have 100 souls just yet. The Storm Bolt goes in. Grizz sends him out the hard way. But meanwhile, on the back line, Santa Claus is going to absolute town. Juki's going to start to back away. Genji gets stunned. Grizz trying to apply pressure. Santa Claus is going to be able to back away, and with this curse going on, this will be at least the bottom keep, so the damage is for sure done.
It's bottom keep, it's mid keep, it's top keep. This is a triple keep play so long as they stall here. Genji manages to escape this fight. The fear was also insane in the follow-up kill onto 2 of the backline targets of Chicken Chips. Do the new guys look to try to close this game out with all of these minion waves closing in?
Void Prison is up. Greyman can't, or Murden can't say the exact same. GG's already going to get called. With Murden getting taken down there, that is going to be 1 G followed by another G. Curse value and everything else. You know, Kyler?
Can I be the first to say that I'm dumb? I looking at that draft on paper, the new guys lose every time. Like, Chicken Chip's draft was fantastic, but like, where did that go wrong? And where did it go wrong so heavily? Was it Falstad getting picked a couple times? Wait, was it when they got? Was it the first tribute? Like, Chicken Chips could have snowballed their experience lead by a substantial margin if they sent Falstad mid and top, right? They ended up losing that tribute anyways, and they had top pushing with the siege camp. And honestly, the new guys don't have a lot of stall, and there's Zagara, or they don't have a lot of wave clear. And Zagara was on the bottom side of the map. Like, that was a bit of a missed opportunity. By a bit, I mean a massive missed opportunity. But like, do you remember where that game snowballed so heavily out of control?
Kyle, allow me to answer your question.
Thank you, sire.
Where that game went wrong? You got to look at the rosters, man. I think we all learned Santa Claus is a dangerous man on Genji. Because it was like, all right, Genji, Zagara in the 1-2.
Yep.
And then you see Zagara get like effectively hard shut down with the Zeratul Falstad. You're like, all right, anytime Zagara tries to go to the other side of the map, they're going to be there.
Yep.
Full Jackson 5. Like, it's going to be tough. And then you see Diablo show up in a position where he can pretty much only be the only solo, like, he's solo warrior Diablo.
Yeah.
Then you see Tychus Merlin show up, so you're like, all right, he jumps in. We take the bigger they are, and Diablo's face is just gets his face taken off. You know, John Travolta, Nicolas Cage.
Oh my god!
But
did you actually just do that?
Absolutely. But the thing we did not consider was Santa Claus. And we did not consider From Gore's ability to press his R key.
Okay, that was
exact devastating moment. Because it was just like, oh, Santa Claus is going off. He's about to die. Oh wait, his health bar has just been reset.
That heroic
the dragon
on the bot
becomes
fight,
me.
Actually crazy.
We forgot about Santa Claus on Genji. And to that, Santa Claus, I apologize, man. Because I thought y'all just flat out lost that draft.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, on paper, you still kind of did. I would say that.
On paper, they completely lost that draft. Like, there's no way, like, yeah.
But Santa Claus broadens his back and puts the new guys on his shoulders and just like, look, From Gore, just throw that ancestral healing out there when I need it, baby. And just let me jump in on his back line. Because if Santa Claus didn't have the game he had, and if those ancestral healings didn't land there the way they did,
yeah,
that was going to be a hard stomp, in my opinion.
Yep, I completely agree. And like, early game went to Chicken Chips. Like, Diablo hard dove those towers bottom side and died really early. And that basically gave the early game over to Chicken Chips. But, you know, like you said, as soon as that first tribute spawned, you're like, wait, this is like super RNG for Chicken Chips. First tribute spawned bottom side when they got their top siege camp. Like, just put your global up there, put Falstad up there. He would have easily gotten the first two towers and probably would have gotten a bunch of damage onto the fort as well. Okay, so talking about that real quick, let's say you don't want a 5v5 fight, okay? So you don't want a 5v5 fight. You have top siege pushing there and the objectives on the bottom side of the map. What is another way of not getting a 5v5 fight? You put somebody top to force your opponents into responding top as well. So then you get the 44, you get the 1v1 top plus the camp. Like, you win that every time if you're Chicken Chips. And then on top of it, the second tribute, it spawned top left side. So it was like, it was advantageous for Chicken Chips as well. But then we saw Santa Claus come to town. He dove onto, remember it was like the two-man dive onto Falstad. He gets the kill, and then that's another free tribute going over to the new guys. And then, yeah, that team fight plus the third tribute, and then they got so much value off that first curse. That was actually crazy because of the Gul'dan.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard from our good old fashioned arc. He says Santa Claus was bringing the gift of swift death that game.
Sure was.
And you're not wrong, Argy. The bands are starting for the finals, though. We will see the new guys go to the finals. So this is it. This is it. I mean, we are $72 away from our goal, hitting 1,500. These teams have put up a heck of a show. If you have not yet donated $1 to the prize pool by entering the Matcherino code TempoHH, wholeheartedly invite you to do that. I still need to donate $5 myself to the prize pool because I said if they didn't go choke all that, I would do it in like mid-sentence. You know, they proved me wrong.
That is true. Yeah.
New guys are going through their band now, argue with the mini dots for the drum roll. I'm looking through the chat. So someone, Sarah Bojangle said, I completely disagree. Chicken strips did not have a specialist. They had no way to push it all. Remember when they all pushed bot, they didn't even get the well. And that's a fair point. But I think their composition, you got Falstad for the side push. They never really utilized that. They could have sent Falstad to the top. They would have gotten through at least the top fort wall over that first tribute. They lost the tribute anyway, so it's not like they even really fought for it.
Mm-hmm.
But they also had a comp outside of that seemed to me designed to just hard shut down the merits of the new guys comp. And then by that, you win a team fight, so then you get the curse, and then you don't need siege damage because you just won the team fight. But like I said,
control the map, yeah.
They didn't account for Santa Claus playing the game of his life on this high skill cap hero. Like when you see a bad Genji, you're just like, man, that hero's terrible.
Yeah.
And then when you see a good Genji, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
you let the dragon consume you when you see a good Genji. Like, it feels good, man. Like I'm telling you, Chicken Chips won that draft on paper. I just think they played themselves. I really do. They had so many conditions where they would have gained so much value with their Falstad, and they didn't do it. With Zeratul Falstad, it's actually insane. We talked about the amount of pick pressure they have on the Zagara. We didn't see it happen once. Sorry, we did see it happen once, but it was Muradin plus the Falstad fly, and then that was that massive team fight where Santa Claus ends up killing 3 people. So like they missed all of those opportunities where you can pressure the solo laner with the pseudo global of Zeratul plus Falstad. They also missed their win condition of having the siege camp top plus the 2 advantageous tributes early. Like they missed so many opportunities. That was actually on paper a draft where you can hit level 10 before your opponents hit level 9, like straight up. And they missed it. Like if you put Falstad in a solo lane against somebody else and you just put Zeratul hovering, like the opponents have no idea where you are. Like they have to respond as well because you have Tychus pushing like super hard on the bottom side. Like there's just so many things about Chicken Chips draft that made it really, really objectively stronger than the new guys. But they just played it. They didn't capitalize on their win conditions. That's what I actually think.
I would be likened to agree, good sir. I mean, based on a draft, I felt that was Chicken Chips' game to lose. And then the new guys won it. Like they're just like, I felt like the new guys